Tonight I was thinking, talk about, thinking to talk about Dharma practice, right? And so, the reason why I want to talk about Dharma practice is because many people have been asking me recently, or they are telling me about their experience of Dharma practice. And so, that I thought that I should want to share some experience with regards to there about that. First and foremost, Dharma practice has got multi-dimensional aspects. It has got psychological aspect. It has got a spiritual aspect, and it also has a worldly aspect. So it's a multi-dimensional aspect. Excuse me. So, what I'm talking about Dharma practice is that Dharma practice is not a a single form of just any of one. There are some people who think that Dharma practice is just about chanting, and this is mistaken. There are some people who think about Dharma practice is about eating pure vegetarian food. Some people who focus the Dharma practice on doing good deeds, and some focus only on meditation. So I want to say, they're all not wrong. But if you're asking me for my truthful, how do you say? What's the correct English word? When you got a staff and then you have to write once a year or twice a year, appraisal of this kind of Dharma practice, is that it is imbalanced. Okay. From all of us having, from me just listening to each other, listening to people, and people telling me about how they like to practice, sometimes ring 10 alarm bells. Okay? And most the other time is just everybody, frankly speaking, just using Buddhism to fulfill their own ego and their own needs. But that's, to me, that's okay. Whatever it is. Because not everybody have a spiritual teacher. But the main thing is, let's first look into the subject of a teacher. The main thing is, how do you see your teacher? Some people see teacher as what the Thais, the Theravada tradition, they call Holy Father or Grandfather. Chinese people also greet the teacher as Father. You know, 师父 means teacher and father. Right? And so, sometimes there's a lot of blind faith. There's a lot of blind faith. And somebody who is wearing robes then suddenly becomes elevated to become some special power beings. But honestly, just by seeing a person's insistence of how a certain way or how Buddhism should and must be practiced also shows very clearly how lopsided the personality of this or that person, of him or her. So, if, for example, those who only want to chant mantra and don't want to think, some only want to meditate and don't want to do anything else, some only recite Shakyamuni Buddha's name, they said, really upset with Amitabha. Okay? Some only Amitabha, no other Buddhas. Correct. Okay? Some only do prostrations. Some only think so much. Some only pure vegetarian. Like I said, what is so many people have been asking me this recently. So that's why I thought to share. If you ask me, but very honestly, just now, that's my appraisal is that it is lopsided of such practices. My honest answer is, you should really try to find a guru that knows you. And open up to your guru. Share your deeds and thoughts and your feelings and ask for guidance. Now the term here I'm using is guru and not teacher. Because can you rely on your school teacher for spiritual practice? Can you? Honestly speaking, can you rely on your tuition teacher for spiritual guidance? So there is a difference between intellectual knowledge specialist versus spiritual cultivator. Okay? So I feel the word versus is also mistaken. Because why is there so much on the versus? First of all, we all must come to understanding is that spirituality is about a path. It's about a journey. Okay? And so because of this journey, then all of us goes through, we support each other, all of us go through up and down. Some people say, when I join Buddhism, I have no problem. After I join and practice Buddhism, all my problem come out. Okay? My very honest answer is, this is loser mentality. Always blaming other people. Okay? They got nobody else to blame Buddha. Okay? So when we say about teacher is teaching the intellectual knowledge of Buddhism. Guru, which in Tibet, Guruji, in Sanskrit, in Tibetan they call Lama. It goes deeper to understand you as a person. And then how you should integrate your practice as a person. Okay? And so I feel this is important. If you don't have a guru, which very frankly speaking, it is unfortunate. There are many people in other lands where even seeing one ordained Sangha is difficult. And whoever is that person who gave up the life to become an ordained Sangha, really becomes like a jewel. Or uphold the teaching of Buddha becomes like a jewel. But over here, in Asia, where maybe everybody assumes they are Buddhists or Taoists, of course, these days, it is not necessarily true too. When we say to practice Dharma, what is the way to practice Dharma? The honest answer is how open would you open your box? How wide will you open your luggage bag? First of all, Dharma practice is also about opening up your own luggage bag, your own baggage, your own box. Most of us only keep on putting things into your luggage bag. But there's some things that you don't need. This is a journey. You're always a journey on a tour. In this journey, in this tour, we are always moving, we're always changing. And so we always have to think about how to move on from here. If moving on, of course, has got different meaning. One is a physical moving house, one is a physical moving different country, the other one is a move on from your personal mindset. Most of us have not moved on from our past. We think last time was like that, now like that, next time also like that. Or we assume it has to, last time was like that and now, and then so it's my duty to preserve the past. Okay? There are many things that if we preserve the past, it brings more suffering than happiness. Right? Okay? Yeah. For example, the idea of having sincerity and faithfulness is to offer an animal and to kill. Okay? And so, I was in Nepal a few years ago. There was one time, a few of us were in Bhaktapur. And so, just nice, it was in this festival. But it's a very unfortunate festival. It's a festival where everybody tells everybody, every household must kill to sacrifice, right? No matter what, they need to kill, even if it's a chicken, a duck, a goat, or a fish, or something like that. So in front of the house they must kill, and the blood must be there in front of the house, so that there will be some bad spirits will not take away the prosperity, not take away this. And so everybody, of course, in the thought of wanting to maintain some success or some peace or want to have this and that, so automatically it becomes everybody kills. Everybody kills. Even if maybe they don't feel like killing, everybody buys an animal to kill. Of course, then what I asked quite a many of them, what did you do it? Do you believe in it? They say, because of social, because of family, because of culture, because of heritage, because of preservation of this and that, and so then they kill. So, on our side, all of us have to think about this. How much of the past do you want to preserve? Right? For example, ancient Asian culture. Men and women are not allowed to eat together on the same table. Right? Do you know? Do you remember? woman will only eat after all the men finish eating. Right? Huh? Yeah. Children is even have to eat, take one side after that. Okay? Women and children eat after all the men finish eating. Today is quite ridiculous to think like this. It's quite ridiculous. Right? So when we talk about certain, not all of the old is bad. So preserving something old, also we need to have wisdom. We need to have a discussion. And then how you want to change. But what I really want to say about what is so special about Dharma practice is, if you don't open up, you don't get, and you don't share with your guru, you actually don't get to hear what you need to hear. Your guru will tell you things that you need to hear, not what you like to hear. And your guru will ask you to do the practices that you do, that what you need to overcome yourself, to grow bigger than yourself. Okay? Most of us, frankly speaking, are small-minded. We just want to be comfortable, just want to be like this. I just want to be, however great you say you are. At the end of the day, people are selfish. Even you are selfish. You say, I just want to have a little bit of this. I just want to have a little bit of that and this. Everybody would think about themselves, no matter how great they say they are. Okay? So, if we say now, Dharma practice, then what is Dharma practice? Dharma practice, in the real sense of the word, in all forms of practices, they are forms. The real sense of the word. So what are the forms? Prostration is a form. Reciting mantra is a form. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Doing charity is a form. But in real sense of the word, Dharma practice is about overcoming yourself. And so what is the best way to overcome yourself? The best way to overcome yourself is to put yourself out of your normal zone. Out of your normal zone. If we look at if we read the life stories of past great masters, their gurus have asked them to do things that were greater than their own self, their own themselves. And they became great masters because they achieved that. But by how? In today's world, volunteering. It's difficult if I ask you to go somewhere and build a tower or build a mountain or carve a Buddha out of a hill, right? Right? Yeah. So what is really meaningful today as a practice is volunteerism. It is sacrificing the attachment of your own time and own target. Our life actually has very much gone to own time, own target. What you like to do is what you like to do. Does it benefit others? Definitely no. Definitely no. Right? You only think about yourself. You only think about your own money. Think about your own time. Think about your own success, name, fame, fortune. Even, why is it become samsara? all beings are like companies that do marketing. Okay? Seems like I'm helping to make you famous. Seems like I'm helping to make your product famous. Seems I'm helping to make your maybe your service famous or make you famous. But it seems like doing a good deed, but in the end, is you need a service fee. Right? Correct? Today, this Dharma practice has become like this. No real mutual benefit they don't want to do. So when we say really do Dharma practice is to stretch your mind and to stretch your time and to stretch the limits of to expand your consciousness. Okay. This is very important. We all have to expand our consciousness. If we cannot expand our consciousness, what really is happening is that we will do whatever we feel like is just there. Like a fish swimming in the aquarium. No matter how beautiful you put, how everything, it is just within the size of the aquarium, you know. It's not a matter of making the aquarium bigger, but it's not a matter of like, you know, you have aquarium, I have aquarium, we put them together, you cut the glass and join them together and doing something. No. It's always about seeing how to make the aquarium more beautiful. And so everything, it seems like doing for others and then you get some greater glory. But everything is still a 2 feet or 3 feet aquarium. This is our reality. Our world, our mandala is not the universe. Our mandala is our own flat. Your own residence. Or your own room. Right? We don't see ourselves as part of a one world. This is something that we all need as a human being, need to readjust. Then this is Dharma practice. How you achieve this one, some people would like meditation. Some people need prostration. Some people need recitation. Some people need do chanting. Right? These methods to achieve that are good. But they are not the main practice. So if you get upset with your guru, what happens? The text says you're married and everything degenerates. Okay? You will go to hell. Right? You will suffer continuously, uninterrupted suffering. Alright? Why is that? Simply speaking, for a person to get upset with their guru, is definitely because it's not a real place of hell, but definitely because a clash of the titans. Your ego very big, okay? Or your idea is very great, or you feel that you know greater, you know better, right? And so it always becomes something that clash, because you have your own set of beliefs. And your guru asks you to do something else out of your comfort zone, out of your belief system. So then, what is right and what is wrong? Okay? What is right and what is wrong? The right here now is see whether the mind becomes, your consciousness expands or not. Okay? There are many people to do so-called do many practices, but the mind becomes smaller and smaller. Okay? Seems like good practice, but result becomes small mind. If result becomes small mind, then defeat the purpose of the great vehicle, or the Mahayana. Okay? It's like, this is your temple, your tradition, this is my temple and my tradition, and so we belong to. So all these are, I tell you, a seriously big mistake. Okay? I think there's one English word where people of the same group, same belief, they like to stick together. What do you call? Huh? Huh? Hmm? No, not that. Not birds of the same feather flock together. Anyway, I forgot. But anyway, I forgot the English word. What? Yes. Congregation, no. Seems like not a congregation, like people who are together and then they become special, or they have their own clan, their own style, their own lineage, and then they become sectarian, they become this. And purpose of Buddhism, Buddha said all beings are equal, right? Correct? Yeah. So if there's some practice then becomes that I'm so special, I'm from this lineage, I'm this, I'm that, then it's really this against teaching of Buddha. You understand? So if we say we are Buddhist, what are the things that we should practice? First of all, very important is equanimity. Okay? Especially those of us who have taken the Vajrayana vows, or later on, if you receive a initiation from of Pandan Lama or Mahakala, you have to be very careful, because one of the vows will be you cannot harm or criticize black beings, because they belong to that entourage. Okay? So you cannot harm, so not harming black dogs, black cats and crows, and even black skinned humans. That means no racism. Alright, there are people who may think that, maybe this dark skinned people, they are lower because they are dark, they are dirty. It's totally this. Buddhism, number one, equanimity. Number two, no racism. If you are racist, fundamentally there's something deeply wrong. Okay, if your skin color is fairer and so you are more high class, skin color is darker, then it's a really big mistake. Okay? So, equanimity, no racism. Okay? One of the four noble truths. should be deeply rooted. Buddha's first teaching. 4 seals of Dharma must be there. Generally, to say everything is not permanent, must be there. Everything is not permanent. Good not permanent, bad also not permanent. So what does it mean? It means your mind to become free of fixation. Why do we suffer? That person must be very bad person. Last time the person did this, then automatically bad. That person did this, that person said this, automatically bad. Then bad means label forever for life. Okay? So this is something that's really important. Impermanence. Good not last forever. Bad also not last forever. Okay? So if you suffer from depression, or you believe you suffer from depression, that's because you have had regrets in your life. Okay? Many people want to blame things. Blame, and then they say they've got depression. Okay? That's because either you got regret, or you're not willing to let go. Not willing to let go of your belief. Yeah. Some people says that, for example, some people says that, Buddhism, because like a debate, when their speech is not stable. Sometimes like this, sometimes like this. Or what Guru says to different people, Guru says different things to different people. So, who am I supposed to believe? Who am I supposed to trust? Number one is this. Guru says different things to different people because different beings need to practice differently and hear different things so that they will move on and expand their consciousness. Correct? If you are a vegetarian, if I tell you how nice all the meat and this and that, will it appeal to you? No. If you are a meat eater and I tell you everything all vegetarian, will it appeal to you? No. It's just that's it. The main thing is that you need to eat to survive. But the idea of many other things is later on man-made. So some people also say, Buddhism, especially Vajrayana Buddhism, the monks did their speech sometimes like this, sometimes like this. Not stable. Sometimes they say black, sometimes they say white. The main thing is this. Is a kind of, I choose to see it as a kind like debate. I explain, it's like a debating. Right? What is a debate? A debate is to make you expand your mind. You may fixate that this topic or this idea of thing is only suitable for Buddhism and then is suitable, that is the correct way of practice. For example, there's a debate is that, some people say, recite the Buddha's name is the only way. Then the debate, yes. Recite the Buddha's name is the only way. Everybody else, the way they practice will not get good result then. Right? But then the Guru says earlier to somebody else, recite name of Buddha is good for you. Right? So this person ask you to recite Buddha's name or recite mantra. The other person then they say, this way. Then the Guru says another way. So what is Guru doing? Right? You must understand. For this person who is a beginner, who is nothing, don't have anything, and just looking for hope, then that is the way to ask them to start. Because they are asking, can I recite some mantras? Can I recite something? You don't tell them, say, recite mantra, no use. You must study the entire philosophy text. They say, wow, I got problem, I'm suffering now. I have to study the whole life. I have to study the Bodhisattva way of life, 37 practices of Buddha's son. Well, I'm going to study the text, the wheel of sharp weapon. I'm going to study the tantras. Or I better go join some other that just have only one God, one creator. You understand? But many people, different people at different points of their life have different needs. There will always be beings who need hope. All of us need hope, right? Some people just, when it just not at their wits' end, they don't know what to do, they freak out. But for those people who are possibly already everything is okay, so extra spending money on spiritual materialism, these people better to start meditating and better to start study. Right? Correct? Because they already got the free time, then they start look for interest to buying things and to decorate things. Then it's better to study. Better to think about this, better to do homework, better to write and everything. Because it will be a long-term greater benefit than you ask these people to, for example, a person who got no problem. You know why they recite mantra? Because they like the mala. This is a real thing, right? And the people very attached to the mala, and then what happened? The more they attach to the mala, the more undeveloped the mala becomes. This is very strange, right? Some people, because they want to buy the mala that looks very, very, very seasoned, actually don't know the person who sell the mala put maybe kiwi shoe polish. That makes it look nice, deep and brown. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Yeah. So, there's two ways, honestly speaking, two ways to make a vase look like antique. One is a real antique. Okay? The other one, take a new vase, bury under the ground. New statue, new something, bury under the ground. Right? Where let nature takes the thing, this time, but then so some things, and then outside looks very old. Right? But inside is still very new. Right? And so, for those people, for those of us who may be spiritual materialists, those of us who are spiritual materialists, better to study some Dhamma. Better study Dhamma and write thesis. Write summaries and write notes for the future people. Make sense? Right? But for these are the fortunate ones. The unfortunate ones are always those. Food is a problem. Finance is a problem. Clothing is a problem. Solving the basic needs of daily life is a problem. There are many people who have this problem. There are also many people who have no problem. Because no problem won't look like practitioner, buy very expensive mala. And then very expensive mala, it's so expensive they don't use. They hang there and show off. They say, oh, this is on this. Wow. Right? Like personally, I've seen this, some dakinis. So I call them dakinis, very old nuns, right? Some of them are illiterate because they cannot read and cannot write. But their mind already grown beyond. Anybody who comes near them, all these beings are and them are same, oneness. The mala that they have, the material, is some cheap things. I've ever seen, right? Even one of them had a plastic mala. Plastic. And somehow chant until the plastic seemed to transform. Okay? Yeah. And you can really see the difference between plastic put long time, leave it down there, or try to put lacquer, or try to... It's different from something that's really used. Right? So, some cheap wood, but the time and the effort, and they know that this mala is used for counting. Right? But in China, when I went to China, I saw these people buying the mala. I said, oh, they have to... Mala need to use this brush to brush it, and then after that use this... They use the what they call this sponge thing that used to polish the nails. They use that to polish the mala bead, every single one of them, so that it's smooth and has a good feel on the skin and texture and this and that. So, you see, the original meaning of using the 108 bead mala is to overcome the 108 types of suffering. That this mala, this kind of suffering, has come to become you. You understand? Why use a good mala? Because this mala becomes something, because it's used for dharma, so you use something that is decent. Right? Yeah. So there's two extremes. One extreme is many people use it to sell it and make it very fanciful, and then it becomes like a decoration. Right? Some wear it as adornments. Some wear it to show off. Yeah, many different things. But the main thing was, let's go back to the basics. Purpose of malas or prayer beads is to overcome 108 bead version, overcome the 108 types of suffering. Okay? Yeah. Chinese saying, 百八烦恼, overcome the 108 types of suffering. That's why they're reciting the Buddha's name, or reciting some mantras. Yeah, so that is the meaning. That is the meaning. How very easy things can become from this to from there. Right? So when really you think, if you're upset with your guru, if you're upset in your practice, okay, if you're upset and you think that maybe you didn't learn many things, right? You didn't learn many things. Then very honestly, I'm telling you, learning Dharma is not as good than practicing Dharma. Okay? Why your guru may not teach you? Why your guru may not teach you is because you have not expanded enough for the next level. Do you understand? Right? If you have a guru and your guru does not teach you some more or deeper, that's because you have not fulfilled whatever the commitments. You have not fulfilled your level, or you have not expanded big enough or wide enough. Let's not use the word big enough. Not extended wide. That means you have not overcome yourself. If you see, there are two ways of collecting water. There are many ways of collecting water. Okay? But for most of us, when we collect water, is when it rains, what happened? Let's say in nature, ancient time, when it rains, what happened? You put a pot outside, right? Correct? Right? But that's the way everybody does. Okay? If I would say, how do you have to practice in a way that you can give water to all beings daily, even when there's no rain. So many people start to create many pots to collect a lot of water. Right? Yeah, so it's easy to store, when you store the water and give the water away. But my style is not that. My style is actually, why don't you collect the clay and then why don't you dig a deep hole and try to make a deep natural water catchment, water tank, right? And so naturally there will be water. Naturally there's a water catchment area, creation of drainage, right? And so then there will be water. And with that water, you can clean the water by growing the water plants or whatever system that's available. But the main thing is that a person whose mind believes that the collecting water is to make water pot, clay pots, will always be a perfectionist of making water pots. He make clay water pot and he will, to collect a lot of water, you make 100, 1,000 water pot. And cut so many trees to burn the clay to make into perfect water pot. Perfection of water pot is no mistake. But what Guru want you to do is to go beyond the pots. Still have water, but beyond the pots. But many of us only want to know water pot. Water equals to water pot. Equals to taking water and equals to collecting water, equals to bringing water home. Not water catchment. Not digging of drains. Not digging a deep, maybe like a pond. You understand what I'm saying now? Right? Okay? So this is what I'm using as a way to let all of us understand how to practice is to be of benefit for all. And to overcome our first idea is water pot is for water, because water pot can also be for growing vegetables. Okay? How do you keep food fresh? How do you keep food fresh? Huh? What? Put in the fridge, right? If you have no fridge, how do you keep fruits and vegetables fresh? Huh? No fridge, no electricity, yeah? No fridge, no electricity, how you keep fruits and vegetables fresh? Huh? Keep underground. Wow. What else? Vacuum pack. No electricity, how to vacuum pack? I already said no electricity. Suck, is it? Very good. Joshua only think about sucking all the time. Uh-huh. What else? Huh? For example, fresh tomato. You harvest in the morning and you will just put it outside. What happens by afternoon? Huh? Becomes aged tomato, right? Wrinkles on the skin, correct? Huh? Fine lines start to appear. You need to apply what? Moisturizer, is it? Huh? Soak in water. What if there's no water? There's not much water to soak. You see? Actually, there are many, many methods to keep this, but these are all very ancient methods. But these are real methods. Okay? But I'm not here to teach you that. So I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm saying is that there are many methods to keep food fresh. Okay? Many, many methods to keep, for example, tomato fresh. Okay? And I assure you, they will be fresh even for 1 week. Okay? I don't need any electricity. Okay? Totally natural system. Okay? Totally natural system. Yeah. I don't need electricity. Okay, so that's the main thing. Water pot, to collect water equates to using a water pot. Okay? It is your perfection of your perfected mindset that water pot is only for water. Correct? Correct? Right. It is your own belief. It's our own belief. Right. And it is our own belief that already restricted and killed us to be innovative, killed us to think greater than ourselves, killed us to think out of the box, and killed us to believe, and made us to believe there's a box. Actually, there's no box. There's no box. So really, with Dharma practice, okay, if you're upset, if you ever get upset with your guru or ever get upset with your Dharma practice, it means you've got many beliefs, your own beliefs. Okay? And the best thing is not what everybody believes is right. It is not something that what everybody believes or everybody thinks is real, that means it is real. Right? Right? For example, of course this one time conditioned. I give you a real example just now that is just, I believe it's still now today, for myself in my own family, in not more than 30 years, men had to eat first. When men finish the food, then the woman eat, then children eat. And that is the way to go. And that is everybody's belief. So it's not what everybody believes or what society believes it is true. Or maybe everybody believes in offering a sacrifice once a year. Killing, offering the blood and the head, that you will have a good luck and have happiness for family. You understand now? Okay? It's not something that everybody believes. For example, I want to stretch your mind now. Okay? In a very hot day, for those of you who like soft drink, some people like beer, some people like Coca-Cola, some people like Pepsi-Cola. On a very hot day, you think of an ice cold drink and then you buy and then you gulp it down and you feel very good, very satisfied, right? Right? Do you know that's the same if for a man or a woman who feels desire and then go look for a prostitute? Right? How come looking for prostitute everybody goes, some people even wear the spectacle, huh? Okay? What I want to say now is this, right? There is nothing wrong with prostitution. I believe, my own personal belief, if a lady prostitutes herself, is a great honor, greater honor if the money goes for the family, for, like I talked to those here, sir, blessing time, somebody say, I'm a prostitute, please, Rinpoche bless me. Yes, I bless you. Then I say, what job do you do? I'm a prostitute. You say, then I gave blessing. They say, yeah. Also, please bless my family, bless my father, bless my this, and they say, they say their parents' name and this and that. And later conversation, they say, I prostitute so that family and everybody can have education, have a proper life. So please, we never look down on prostitutes. Understand? Number 2, it's better to prostitute yourself than to sell drugs that cause great mass harm to others. Fair enough? Okay? So, when you say you go for pleasure of the senses, so pleasure of the senses, wearing something very beautiful and branded to make you feel good. If we want to say bad karma, then there's bad karma. Right? Wearing jewelry, then also bad karma. Keeping clean shaven and everything, bad karma. Right? Putting perfume, or what? Bad karma. Pleasure of a sight. Singing and dancing and speaking, that's what? Bad karma. You understand? So really different people practice different way. If everything want to say bad karma, then everything goes down. Becomes depression. So Vajrayana Buddhism, of course, we have our own methods to transform everything that is ordinary, everything that is pleasurable, to become instrument to the path of enlightenment. This is very important. Okay? This is very important. All things that has got to do with the senses. Okay? Let's just use the words that the Heart Sutra use. The 5 aggregates, which is empty by nature. They only exist and they only create such a reality for you just because right now you are a human being. Right? What if you are born a slug there are some animals that have got no eyes, so therefore they have no, maybe they cannot hear. There's no hearing, no ears, and no eyes. Everything then becomes sensation. Like an earthworm. Earthworm have ears? Earthworm have ears or not? Okay? So, very clearly speaking, right now, Buddha also said very clearly, or the Heart Sutra says, everything here is empty. And our suffering over here right now is because we have fooled ourselves to believe that we are real. We have fooled ourselves to believe that the drama that we are creating is real and permanent. Like some people spend so many years of their life studying banking. Then after that they work in a bank. Then they become a banker. Then they become very successful in banker, or they become very rich and powerful. Then they believe that they will always be banker, always be rich, or maybe can be a business person, can be a businessman, can be a manufacturer, can be a trader. And then they believe that maybe they have some status in life, or some, like in England, some people may be baron, can be a knighted and become a lord, Or in Malaysia, there is a different status of, So if you believe all these things, so Buddha said, all these things, but specifically Buddha taught this because he was from the Sakya clan. Those people who were Sakyans really believed that they are high above all the others. Which is, if we look at India 2,600 years ago, let's don't say India 2,600 years ago, even now today, if you go to India, the invisible veil of caste system still stands. Right? Maybe we don't know it here. But if you go and look at the Indian companies, computer companies, and there are many Indian colleagues, within themselves, they will have a caste system. I'm Brahmin, I'm this and that, and you are this and that. Within themselves, same race, maybe same religion, they have a suffering. They have such a suffering. So that's why Buddha taught this Heart Sutra is also as an antidote to that. Ask us all to wake up and appreciate each other and know that we are all human. Right? So you see, right now we are human, and right now we are praying, and we are doing practice, and it's always about asking everything about this life. Okay? It's like a student who is going to have an exam coming, future is the result of your exam result, but the child doesn't see it, the child just goes on relaxing, sleeping, playing. Don't care so much about future. What I can eat is now, what I can sleep is now. End up, when they grow up, what happens? Maybe that was us. Maybe that was us. Most of us have no choice but to grow up. But we never really grew up. Most of us became old, but inside still so childish. Immature and not matured. So these are some points for all of us to reflect upon in terms of Dhamma practice. Okay? Please always remember the water pot, collection of water pots. Right? How much more water everybody can have if everybody comes together? How much more water everybody can have? Everybody comes together and dig a deep water catchment pond. And everybody do their work to make sure to catch the rain and to catch the... Right? Okay? Yeah. But everybody only thinking about themselves, make only their own clay pot and this clay water pot. I'm saying this because all of us are like that. We are each and every one of we are our own clay water pots. To achieve the clay water pot, we even slash and burn much of the forest, which means the resources to achieve. We will sacrifice a lot of resources to achieve our own ego. But the purpose and the benefit will always only be small and limited. That's why another term that you can call for all sentient beings is called limited beings. Because your capability is always limited. My capability also limited. That's why companies are also called private limited. Right? It is private and limited. Right? Make sense? Yeah. So always the things that we do is always private and always limited. Just like the clay water pots. You'll never be happy. You'll never have enough and you'll never be happy. And you always believe that everything is supposed to be like that. Right? And if the guru asks you, say, don't use clay, use stainless steel, you cannot accept. Last time water pot made from clay, now water pot made from clay. Next time water pot also must make from clay. Right? So, resistance to new ideas, resistance to change, resistance. Right? So, always think about everything that you see and apply Dharma to it. Okay? Everything that we see, apply Dharma to it. Then our life can become meaningful. Okay? So if you feel you're upset with your guru, you should actually thank your guru, or your guru make things difficult for you. You should actually be very thankful. Because that means your guru knows you. Your guru knows what you need. Because your guru is asking you to do something that really break your shell. Break your own small system. Break your shell. Okay? If not, all of us will believe that you're always the chick in the eggshell, your own world, or frog in the well. That is the only way that you can become a greater and a better person. If not, always it's just about chanting, about vegetarian, about doing things so-called for others, but actually really is more of self-fulfillment. But is self-fulfillment bad? Okay? That is another question. Is self-fulfillment good? Is self-fulfillment bad? If there's no self, what is there to fulfill? Okay? So the main thing, always we should think about greater benefit for others. Greater benefit, not just ourselves. Greater benefit for others, we ourselves will also benefit. Okay? We must think like that. We must retrain like that. And we must reorganize the way that we think and believe. And if the past beliefs are wrong, accept new changes. Accept. And accept that even the current belief that you accept may move on to something else. Then you will never be fixated. Our human mind suffering is because we are too fixated how things must be like this and must be like that. Right? I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, many Malaccans are like that. Especially when I went to Malacca. I see many Malaccans like this. They are already very comfortable. They're very comfortable. Every day they say, they know when they wake up, they go to which shop to eat, and they will go and do this thing, and then they will do this thing. Every day is the same. So everything is just fixated. Not just Malaccans, the Japanese also. Right? When they say this thing is on this time, this schedule, this thing fixed, cannot change. Those of you who have worked with Japanese should know, right? Right? This schedule, this time, what time start means what time means that time to start, that time to complete. Cannot change schedule. Everything cannot change. Right? Tea ceremony means it's supposed to be like this and must only be like this. Everything is that style. Right? So even many Tibetan lamas go to Japan and then after that they're wondering. Very difficult. Very difficult. Yeah. So, please, everybody should really think about your future lives, not only about your current life now, not only about your own belief system and how you should be this, that. Then this is very important because it will be of a greater benefit. Right, Jimmy? Is that Jimmy next to Melvin? Huh? Jimmy? Oh. Okay. So everything except move forward, okay, and rearrange your mind. Stop being a coward and cry and be depressed. Okay, many people coward and cry and depressed. Short time definitely because human beings, emotion. But always somehow can just swing and become like this means your mind is, you cannot accept changes, and then after that then we got upset and this and that. So your own karmic situation. But that is also because you allowed it to be. Like I said, many people practice Dharma or whatever, then after that they start to bully the new people. Terrible. Well, bullying can by talking, by judgment, judge other people, and this and that is not right. Okay? So anyway, good night.